All right, guys, welcome to the first edition of this AO case study, where I'm going to be talking to a couple of my students as well that have been in this journey for a very long time and going over the things that they've been through in their trading journey, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. Today, I'm joined by none other than Vano, the guy that's been here since day one, that has been in the whole trading game ever since. I also went a little bit commercial and showcased numerous different strategies, trying to make them click for other people. Yeah, Vano's going to be the first guy on this topic. I'm very excited to share with you guys his story and go through memory lane on his end after achieving a couple of great milestones. This will not only act as something where you guys get a look and feel of what it's like, this entire trajectory, but also a pivotal moment for Vano that he can look back upon in potentially a year or so to see how he's progressed since then. So without further ado, Vano, maybe give a small introduction, who you are, what you do, and how long you've been in the trading space for the listeners.
I'm Silvano. Nice to meet you all. When did I start? I think, was it in August that you started Echo?
Yeah,
I think so, huh?
something like that. Yeah, along those
Yeah,
lines.
something like that. So basically, I started what? I didn't start manual trading first because I was a Twitch streamer first. That's what I did. I just gamed and I streamed.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped doing it because I didn't really like the space. It didn't really like where it could get me. It was, I don't know, just too much. Doesn't really matter. Some of my friends, they did a Forex trading bot, the bullshit that you see online, all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I was like, we can also do this manual, right? Because I remembered some things from crypto. I was like, oh yeah, the charts, blah, blah. I didn't know shit, but I was like, you
Yeah,
can definitely learn this.
for sure.
Me and my friends, you just started learning it manually. I think we started with, what did we start with? Photon trading or something? I don't even know.
Photon. Yeah. I think it was Photon, huh?
Yeah, he was like massive on market structure. It was
Yeah.
like only 50-minute long videos in his course. Like, yo, you was falling asleep. Like I was falling asleep. But
Yeah.
that's what I did all day. And then we switched to JFX to fucking, I don't even know. I don't even know. So many courses. And then, like maybe 2 weeks after we started watching the courses, I saw Mr. Finance post about Echo, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically how I rolled into Echo and how we met as well. And that started up pretty fucking crazy because yeah, honestly, like I didn't know shit, of course. Like I was new to everything, but I think the battle royale started pretty quick, no?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think where it all kickstarted was, so to give a little bit of context for the guys, Vano was literally, I think, the first dude to join the membership that we had back then. Was it prospects or what, or was it just the vault?
No, well, it was just the fault first because you were just sharing your analysis and stuff. So
Yeah.
you had to pay like monthly for the thing, and then later on you made the course,
Oh yeah. Then we dropped
and
X.
then the course, and then after the course came prospects. I think.
Yeah. Oh
I think it was
We
something
had
like that.
Odyssey, of course, was in between. Yeah. So Vano was literally, I launched Echo. I remember that. That was fucking, I launched that when I was in Greece on my holiday, and Vano was literally the first guy. You get those notifications of Stripe and you get all that good stuff, and then you see the server and you see the people that joined. Vano was the first one that joined the membership, and to give a little bit of context, we added a concept called Battle Royale, which was just a way to create initiative for not only the analysis, but other people as well. And the guys with the most RR per trade could obviously win prizes, could get a free month of membership, get a one-on-one in person, all that good stuff. And those were pretty hectic times. Yeah. I remember the first
Yes.
couple of months, dude, this guy shot absurd amount. But looking back on that, I want to go into kind of like my first question. How do you compare yourself just from a tech-based point of view from when you just joined and just started trading with kind of this theory, anything in line with this theory, to how you are now?
Um. Well, obviously, I started off by doing battle royale, and I think for me that I it's hard to say if it's like a good thing or a bad thing because let's say I like when I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
I want to
Okay.
be the best and I want to win.
That's
That's how I
good.
am.
Yeah.
And it is good indeed. But in trading, is it really good? No, because you cannot win and you cannot be the best. And
Right.
even if you could be the best, it doesn't really matter if you are. So I started off with better real, but that took away that I had any fear to take trades. Like there was no fear of taking trades. I took 100 trades. It didn't matter. But let's say I didn't have the better real, then I might have been scared to take trades.
Yeah.
At the start, I took so many trades, and right now I still notice that I take a lot of trades, but you start noticing like you learn from your mistakes.
Mhm.
And since I made like over, I don't know how many trades, I made so many mistakes because most of them were losses anyways. So yeah, I did good in the battle royale, obviously with like high RR, like crazy, like 50 RR, then next one 50 RR again, and it was nuts.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give you that feeling that you actually won. Also because it was just a demo or whatever. But yeah, I think right now, just the main thing is like the amount of trades I take, like not having the fear. There's no fear at all, and you need to have some knowledge about what you're doing, and you need some fear. Like you need to have some balance. You need to have some balance. Do not have fear at all. Like I just want to win. I want to win my trade. And as I discussed in one of my recaps
Mhm.
in the legacy, I said
Yeah.
like, I don't really react to the market. Like here in Exodus, we want to react to the market, but I
Exactly.
expect the market to go somewhere,
Yeah.
and that's where I want to trade to, and that's what I really notice. But right now, it's getting less and less because you have a have way more clear understanding of where the market wants to go,
Yeah.
especially when you look at higher time frames. Right now, my technical analysis is way better going from just doing a top-down analysis, basically.
Mhm.
So I really start to understand, okay, this is where I need to go. Now I can buy here, buy there,
Yeah.
and now I'm at my target. Now I need to know, okay, where's my next target? So it's way
Exactly.
more dissecting those things on the higher time frames to the lower time frames. So
Yeah.
now still shooting a lot of trades. I still shoot a lot of trades, but
Sure.
I don't think that will ever go away. I think that's just how I am, and I just like the dopamine. I just like
Mhm.
shooting trades. But if I want to do that, then I need to master my own, like, I need to master my own edge in that
Yeah.
way. And it's going to be difficult, but it's definitely doable.
I think it's not necessarily like a bad thing if you shoot the whole time. And now it's just a question of making sure that when you execute and when you shoot that bullet, that it's one that you've planned and one that fits your edge instead of just shooting to shoot. Because I think you're one of the guys that, as you said, with Battle Royale, we got you over that hump of being afraid of executing, whereas we got other couple guys in the group that might be a little bit too scared of executing in comparison to your trigger finger that you've had quite fondly.
Yeah.
So, you know, to each their own, right? With one, let's say, flaw comes also an advantage that you're not afraid of executing, which is very good. And now it's, I would say, that transition to get you to a point that you're executing accordingly to your plan. So that's very good. That's what we're doing with it now. But going back a little bit in time when you just started reaching that point where you realized my theory might be a little bit flawed, what was the biggest thing that you noticed in your journey so far, which may have given you the best type of aha moment or click moment in your technical analysis or any way that you perceive the charts?
Whoa.
No
There were
rush.
so many. There were so many moments, to be honest. I think. I think like two very important moments are knowing my dealing range was like very important for me.
Hmm.
The dealing range was definitely something that I thought, okay, we're in this range, so let me just look at this range where I want to go. And
Yeah.
then the next thing comes in that made it click even more is using those high time frames. As I said, I need to know where the high time frames want to go.
Hmm.
Then I have my dealing range, and then I just know, okay, I'm gonna trade towards this, and then that made it so much easier for me, and I saw my win rate go up as well, and that's how I won so many trades on my funded accounts now. So I think that was just a big click moment of knowing where you are in the market and where you want to go next. Like those three questions we have.
Yeah.
I think building all that stuff up, that was just a huge click moment. Okay, I when I looked at the market before, I didn't know where the fuck we were first, and I didn't know where I want to go. I just knew I wanted to click.
Sure.
So I think, yeah, the just knowing where we are in the market and where we want to go, that was a huge click moment. Like actually thinking those questions through.
Yeah. No, super good. I think more from your background, which is very similar to mine as well. We're both guys that have quite, let's say, the emotional bond with the market in that sense that we like really want to see those wins. And we've got, you and I, we've been to the city, we've had our fun evenings as well. And overall, just the monetary gains that you can get from Forex are very much present. What is one thing that you've potentially done in the last couple of months to detach from, let's say, the result and let's say the more monetary result from trading Forex to more of a goal oriented and like skill oriented from, hey, I want to focus more on potentially increasing my strike rate or potentially mastering the skill instead of just looking at, oh, I've made an X amount in the past 6, 7 months, let's say.
Wait, what's the question? It's
So what was
so
something
what
that you've done to detach from the monetary gains to instead of rather focusing on monetary gains to then focus more on, let's say, the technical
something
aspect of it?
else.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah. I think for me, I just needed to sort out everything outside of trading for me. And it was not that it was a mess, but there was too much distraction, like there was not enough focus. So
Right.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with my trading when I started doing, when it was like, okay, I need to think outside of it. I didn't think there was anything wrong with my trading. There actually was. Like I found out there was, and that I need to learn so much more, and that I know right now. But when I started doing it, I didn't think anything was wrong with my trading. And I just had to sort out some things outside of it. And I know I knew in my head, okay, I'm so close right now, things are just holding me back.
Yeah.
It's like seeing your friends too much or doing stupid shit or going out drinking stuff like this. I know those things are holding me back because if I just stop doing it for just a few months right now, I will get where I want to be, and that's not the monetary gains or whatever.
Exactly.
That's just knowing that you can do what you do and make money with it,
Yeah.
because the money obviously is nice, like all those gains are nice, but being consistent with it and actually knowing what you're doing and shooting a trade and not knowing that it's going to go well, but thinking like, okay, even if it's in a stop loss, I couldn't care less
Yeah.
because I know it's a good trade. And that
Exactly.
makes it so much easier for in my head as well, because right now, if I do see a good trade and I actually know it's a good trade and it still hits stop loss or break even, then it's whatever because you did everything you could.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, just fixing those things outside of it, or letting some things loose, or just making everything way more easy, way more being in your routine. And I think focusing on that made it everything way better for me.
Yeah. No, we'll get into that maybe in more detail in a second. Let's focus a little bit more stat based, maybe something that the viewers might find a little bit interesting. What was the most recent success that you've hit recently where you're like, okay, shit, that was pretty lit. We just did that, which was not only for me a very happy moment, but for yourself as well. Maybe tell us more about your recent milestones, achievements in the past 1, 2 months that you're very proud of.
Definitely everything to do with FTMO.
Sick.
Yeah, because as I said, like 2 months ago, it was just shit because I passed a 10K account,
Hmm.
small account, but for me, it was like, I need to see if I can actually pass the challenge and then keep it.
Exactly.
I passed that 10K account, hit 9% on it, and
Yeah.
then I lost it. I just
Yeah.
lost it. And it's stupid because I didn't even get the payout, and I was 9% up.
Yeah.
Like it was not my first funded account, but the first time that I could actually get a payout on FTMO. So I was
Yeah.
like, this is nice. But then that's why I wanted to fix everything outside of it, because I know when I have a setback, I need to work harder and then I can come back better.
For sure.
So the milestone that I then hit was the 50K funded.
Let's
and
go.
then I, and then we hit 18%. And I knew I wasn't gonna fuck that up. Um, But yeah, it just went crazy because everything just clicked and you just see those trades. And I know I had some people ask like, why would you even take a trade when you're already up 5%? Or why would you even, but I told Max, the other guy,
Yeah,
I told him, I just need to keep trading. Like I want to trade. And I think I can trade. So why wouldn't I trade? Like I'm taking these trades. And I know it's not really taking care of your money, I would say, but I think that's where the thing comes in that I do not really have fear.
yeah,
And it might be something
100%.
stupid, but it might also help me. If I know I am like that, I need to make some sort of plan around it or
Yeah,
set some rules for myself. And that's basically what I'm finding out right now and just working on. But yeah, like right now, I have my account up 7%, but I'm also not touching it anymore because I'm like, okay, 7% is also a lot. And I notice like when I'm doing another challenge, uh, I don't really feel the need to trade because I'm already doing a challenge and the funded account I can just then leave on the side.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
maybe having something on the side for me would then help to not trade on my funded account. But yeah, the challenge I also passed in a day, phase one and phase two also in a day. So that's also crazy. But yeah, everything's going just very well and it feels so weird, but everything's going well because you're like, as I said, like you want it to be consistent.
yeah,
And now in 1 month or 2 months, it has been so crazy. You're making so much money and you're getting funded accounts left in this. Okay, but is this actually going to stay for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months? You don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, that's what you want to work on. That's what you're going to need to find out. And even if it doesn't happen, then say, you're not going to stop anyway. So it's whatever.
Exactly. That's where I'm for. That's where I'm here for, to keep you in check as well, making sure that we manage everything accordingly. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, 7% at the moment. We're going to be implementing the whole aspect that we did on the stream as well, seeing if we can get you to that max allocation and then keep that consistency. But for now, crazy milestone. It was a big moment for you, big moment
Yeah.
for me as well. I was fucking gassed to see that, especially that you had this little competition on the leaderboard as well with another Dutch guy.
Yeah, fuck. Yo, if you listen to this, who even are you? You know, what was his name? Like Luca. This guy just goes 3 cents above me. And I'm like, are you taking the piss right now? Like I was above him, then he was above me, then I was above him again. Like I didn't even want to cross this guy. But then he was like a couple cents above me. And I'm like, yeah, all right, mate. All right,
Personal
all
now.
right. Yeah, it's personal now.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Yeah, honestly, you celebrated it last week. Very fun. Completely honored that you did it like that and deserved as well. Like huge kudos after the long amount of time that we've been through, quite a couple of ups and downs to hit this smacker was quite nice.
Yeah.
What was one of the turning points, let's say, aside from this, theory wise? You talk about dealing ranges, you talk about liquidity here and there. We recently did our first placement call together, so volume one. What was the big moment from, let's say, that call where you realized, ah, shit? Because you had a little bit of doubt with the theory, right? We did the placement call, and that was a confidence check. Like, oh yeah, shit, this guy actually knows what he's doing. And you yourself, you're like, oh yeah, I actually blindly, you could answer every question. What was a wake up moment there, or some sort of confidence boost you gained from that call to help you with specific aspects of your maybe technical analysis? What improved since that call, aside from dealing ranges then?
I think, as you said, I knew almost everything.
Yeah,
But since I wasn't sure, I didn't really apply it.
yeah,
Like I didn't actually look at the chart and then go over all of those things. And right now, I'm actually going over all of those things because I'm sure that what I know now is right. And I
yeah,
think before I didn't really have the confirmation, so I didn't really apply it in my own head because I wasn't sure. But now I'm sure, so it's okay. Yeah, check this, look, sell model, buy model, and I just look at it differently because we talked about it, and have way more confidence now in like applying it as well.
yeah, yeah. No,
So you
super
pay way
good.
more attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's because you were the first one that actually got, let's say, one of those AO accounts without having done the placement, because I really wanted to see, let's say, the switch from pre-placement to post-placement. And now you're recouping the track account pretty much, because we track all my students, we track on, let's say, their own personal account. And at the beginning, before placement one, it was quite the Gatling gun. And that was, yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think you hit like a dip of -8% in what would it be, a month or so? And then from now we're recouping all of that and you're working your way to break even there, which is very beautiful to see because you can just see that your, let's say, mannerism and execution is just becoming a lot better with each trade that you take and with the new theory that you're gaining. What is something that you want to do aside from, let's say, I don't know how far you are in volume one, but what is something that you really want to improve in, let's say, the next period of time with your own analysis or your own trading?
Mm, oh, that's a good question.
We're going to be working on obviously the whole funded aspect with you. So give us a little bit of insight. You've got the 50K funded, you passed your 100K P1, P2 as well.
Yeah, P2 as well.
Crazy. So you're pretty much 150K funded at the moment.
Yeah.
Gross. Casual, dude. Nearly halfway through max allocation. 6 months ago, it was like sweating, and now we're here. The guy
Yeah,
banks
it's crazy.
18% like it's nothing. What was that payout? Give us a number. 18% on the
Yeah,
50K.
it was 7 point something K. It was the reward. So it was like 9.4K on the account, and I got
Yeah,
80%. So yeah, 7 point something.
plus refund of the account.
Yeah, plus refund.
Yeah, cool, cool.
Cool. Cool.
Pretty cool, huh? When that hit the Bitfavo account, it was
Nice. Cool. Cool
cool.
car. Yeah, cool, cool, cool.
Cool, very cool. But okay, no, I thought you were still with the P2. No, but you said you passed P. Look, that 100K, I would see that as your main account now, right? Because at
Yeah.
first, when you hopped into that stream and I was explaining the whole mechanisms of having a bigger funded account, a bigger challenge account than your funded account, but you blindly passed P2 like it's nothing, which is very nice. So now you can just use that 100K as your master, but you're up 7% now on that 50K parked for payout. Casual.
Yeah, I think I'm going on vacation next Wednesday, and I think I can request my payout then for the next. I spoke with someone yesterday, and I said as well, like, it seems so surreal, but you have to remember that you've worked for it for 2.5 or whatever how many years, and all that work, you look at it like it's from one day to the other, you just make so much money, and it's whoa. But actually, yeah, it took you so long, and so it's just paying off right now. Still feels surreal, fucking weird. If I get my payout on the 50K and the 100K, like that's just gonna feel very weird, but that's just how it is right now.
That's the man's living. What's the travel destination? Where are you off to?
Lithuania.
Dude, okay. Sick. Oh, you chose a great time, December. Everything's
Yeah.
down just a tad. Nah, dude, it's honestly like for me, it just hits so close to home as well because I've known you for a very long period of time actually. We've been through COVID together. We've been on weather together, dude. We've been trading EU, GU on the fucking calls in the morning when I was in Rotterdam, and we all just woke up and we all just looked at the charts together. It's crazy to see that now. Like what you said, it sounds like an overnight success, but it's everything but an overnight success. It's really the amount of work that you've put in, the amount of discipline you've done
No,
to
it's not even the
change.
work. It's not even all the hours of work and the notes, and I really don't give a shit about that. It's like the emotional work that you put in. If people
Yeah,
tell me like, "Oh yeah, I work 80 hours a week," it's yeah, fine. My brain is on all day.
yeah,
Even when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming charts. You remember those battle royale days? I'm dreaming charts. So it's like this damage in my head. That's what I care about. That's the work. That's all of the actual work that you put in trading. And it's fucking hell, give me a break. But you start to
yeah.
enjoy it, and that's why you just when I'm speaking with traders, like I notice when a trader is a trader. Like you
Yeah.
remember when we're doing the streams and stuff, it's like just so stupid, man. People just turn stupid, and it's hilarious. And it's, yeah, I start to like it, and it's okay. That's just how my head works now, and that's
Yeah,
fine. I like it.
yeah, yeah. Dude, it's yeah. That's why I was like, okay, we need to get this as some sort of core memory in your journey as well, because it's only going to scale quite exponentially from here. and you've got all the resources to do. And I think you're also a prime example of what is capable. And there are many people alike, right? Many people that face the same, let's say, I wouldn't say issues, but face the same question mark of whether or not it's going to work after an X amount of time. What was something that, even after 1, 2, 3 years of, let's say, putting effort in, what kept you going? What was something that kept you pursuing this goal, pursuing this excellence, let's say, this form of understanding the market without having a direct linear result? Why did you keep going?
At first, it was because it sounds so stupid, but if you don't stop, you're never gonna lose.
Yeah.
And I had moments where I did fuck all, especially when I was in my relationship before. I had so many moments because you're just not only busy with your work anymore, you also have a relationship.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I definitely had moments where I didn't really stop because I always looked at the market or whatever. But I just knew if I don't stop, I will make it. And later on, it really became a huge thing that I started to notice that my life is just a chart. I knew when I hit
Yeah.
my low, I'm going to make that high again. And the more I started noticing that and the higher the highs got, the more I want to put in and put in. And so when I lost my funded account, the 10K,
Yep.
that was like a huge moment for me. Okay. I didn't even think like I cannot do it or fuck this or whatever. The first thing that I thought was, holy shit, I'm so close. I can do it. Like that's the
Yep.
first thing that I thought when I hit such a loss and I lost the fund. This was the first thing that I thought because I knew, okay, this is now my low. And
Yeah.
now I'm going to make that high. And the next high is going to be money. So the only thing in my head was like, I'm going to make money now. So it made me so happy. And then I was like, okay, now I'm so motivated. And that's why I start, yeah, 80% payout.
Yep.
And
Sick.
that just kept me going. You just need to know that when you hit a low, you're going to make a new high. And if you always remember that, you cannot really be stopped.
Yeah, the ball only bounces off the ground. No, beautiful story so far. A lot more milestones to be hit, a lot more milestones to be smashed. Deviating a little bit from your journey, but overall looking at the group and overall looking at AO, what's one of the main benefits that you get from, let's say, the group, from the other guys, potentially in the community as a whole? What are one of the things that you use to your best advantage with the tools that are given to you?
Their stories mostly because like I also look at trades, of course, and see where they make mistakes because I
Yeah,
think that's very useful.
yeah,
But to be honest, I think it's more the stories, and especially when they like open up about themselves
yeah,
or say something that I can resonate with.
yeah,
I think that's very important for me because it just gets you like to this another level of like emotion. You're like, yeah, it's the same for me, and it's them. Because if like more people are having the same issues as you, it's way easier to just calm down a little bit, take a little step back and think, yeah, I'm not the only one. I'm not retarded or something. Like people just have this stuff. This is what's going on. And I think
100%.
that's the best thing, just to know that like more people have those issues and it's not all making money and driving Lambos or whatever.
No, it's a very human thought of you to have, and I completely agree. When we have those mindset sessions throughout the week or just whatnot, when people open up their legacy, when they just join the group, you always get to hear a nice, interesting backstory of the newcomer. And you quickly realize that everyone faces their own, let's say, personal battles or struggles, and opening up to each other really does help with that. And that's something, that I really appreciate from you, because you kickstarted that in the group as well, especially with those videos when you were like recording those videos of yourself and sharing them as trade recaps, and you did that pre-trade, post-trade. And often enough, yeah, you just scratch your head and you're like, okay, why the hell did I take this? Or this looked good, but it didn't, didn't end up so good. Just lots of transparency, humility as well. That's what I respect the most from you. You're a very humble guy in the sense of knowing when you're wrong. And I think that's very important as well. But looking forward and going from, let's say, the past of the couple of trades that you've taken, you talked a little bit about the things that you want to improve. We've got volume 2 coming up. We're going to do that placement soon enough, probably when you're back from Lithuania. What's one thing that you're like, hey, aside from, let's say, getting more funded accounts or scaling in that sense, what do you really want to achieve with trading? Like now
I
you
just want to,
realize,
I just want to be really fucking good, man.
yeah,
Honestly. And it's not really about the percentage or not even, I think not even about the strike. Like I don't need all my trades to be right because the way I trade, that's not possible.
yeah,
But like I'm not really thinking yet about being on a massive fund or anything like
sure,
that because my trading style is not meant for it
yeah,
right now. Like maybe when I'm like making some money, I can make a strategy or whatever. So I'm not really thinking about that right now.
yeah,
But right now, I just want my style of trading to be my style of trading because
yeah,
I know anything is possible and I know people have their own edge and whatever. And if my style of trading is going to be getting 7%, 8%, whatever percentage high, like it's not about the money, but it's just, I know how I trade. And if I can make that work, not only because of the money, but because that's how I trade,
yeah,
then yeah, that's what I just want to achieve and see if that is actually possible. Because it does sound very stupid. Yeah, of course you want to reach 10% payouts every single time, blah, 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 blah,
sure,
or whatever.
sure,
But yeah, I just take a lot of trades and I want to make sure most of the trades that I do take are maybe very ballsy trades, but trades that do end up having a good strike rate and do end up making you profitable.
yeah,
So I think the best answer to your question is just work on my edge, make my edge really my edge, and get a very good edge. Yeah, just know myself so good and know my trading style so good.
yeah.
I think that's the most important thing right now. Be
And
consistent
what,
with that trading style.
yeah, no, 100%. And what are ways that I myself or AO or Exodus is going to help achieve that?
Mhm. Or Exodus, it's of course learn Exodus and get an understanding of what's going on and how I can apply it onto the
Mhm.
market
Yeah,
and what does work for me and what doesn't work for me.
yeah,
But with AO, I would say right now it's also just very important that I do not feel alone
yeah,
because you like me myself that I feel alone so many times.
yeah,
And the Discord just helps with that. It's yeah, the more people doing this, and you have people like chatting about the charts, and you're making jokes or you're sending gifts again, and it makes it
yeah,
way more engaging because otherwise you're just sitting behind your screens and you're making money and you're alone, and the next day you're alone again, and it's yeah, damn. But
damn,
that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And I do enjoy the work. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think
100%.
AO is definitely going to help with feeling less lonely and feeling
Yeah,
more in check with what's going on with your emotions and then with other people their emotions and they should just doing the same thing. It's like a little office but then online.
yeah, yeah. No, very nice to hear. And what is something in terms of, let's say, you talked about refining your strategy, being content with the way that you apply the theory to your own mannerisms, finding out what works well for you, what doesn't work well for you. What are things that work well for you from, let's say, the strat so far, and what are things that you're just like, all right, fuck, that doesn't work well
Wow.
for me?
Not trading, having days where I do not trade, that doesn't work well for me. That just
Right.
fucks me up. Like
Okay.
because then if I set that rule for myself, I will end up breaking it. And once I break it, like even when I hit a TP, if I break that rule and I hit a TP, I'm like, yeah, I broke the rule. So what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
So there is no rule for me, no trading. Like even if I would wake up 4 a.m. and I see something, I just take it.
Sure.
And it's okay. It's stupid, but I cannot. That just it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. But what works for me. Making an analysis in the morning, yeah, that works for me. Like actually looking, like when I did it the day before, and I already have my draw liquidity and everything, I already have it set. I need to do analysis in the morning because I need to be in the market. Like I cannot sit behind my screens and then look at my uh, annotations from the day before and see, okay, this is where I want to go, so I could look for a break here.
Yeah.
No, I need to actually dive into the market again and see it as a game.
Yeah.
Because when I do those things, I just go over like the small details and whatever. And I started to notice that when I do that, I'm way more connected to the market. So I can way better than anticipate on things. And I think for my edge, that's very important because as I said, I do take a lot of trades and I take very ballsy trades as well. So I need to be connected to the market and have like an understanding of what's going on the higher time frames and the lower time frames.
Yeah. Have everything in sync in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. And what is so far, if we talk about entry models and all that stuff, what is your favorite way of entering the market? If you were to describe, hey, look at your past performance, also a couple of the trades that got you the payout so far, to explain it in a simple manner, because at the end of the day, the entry models that we apply are all, it's one of two, right? What's the way that you best prefer entering the market? Like, what do you
Mm,
need to see? What's, yeah, that's a neuron activation, happy moment. So it's like, I can click the button.
oh, I think what I like the most is like a liquidity sweep. And then if my draw on liquidity is on the other side of the liquidity sweep,
Mhm.
let's say I want to go short and they just took out a high and I see it's like a liquidity sweep and I get my confirmation, then I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, we're doing this. This is done. Like we're taking it low. It's done.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
Good.
sometimes it's also so I also sometimes have trades and sounds so stupid, but like when you see the market and it's not really you don't even have a confirmation, but it's like at a point. Sometimes I just have it at a point, and I'm like in an imbalance or whatever, or like at the 0.5, just whatever, just at
Yeah,
a point that you think, okay, I know it's what it's gonna do here. Like I start thinking those things, and that's what I need to control because
yeah.
that's like wanting the market to do something and not
Hmm.
reacting to it.
Sure.
But that's what I have so many times in my head, and that's why I need to be connected to the market because I'm looking at this point. I'm like, yeah, you motherfucker, you're gonna drop. You're gonna drop here. I fucking know it. That's how I think. That's how I think. And then I'm like talking to myself. I'm like, yeah, I cannot know this. Don't fucking shoot this right now. But yeah, that's hilarious. But that's the thing. That's when you get lonely. You just start talking to yourself. Oh yeah, it's gonna do this, and then I already know. Like when I look at your charts and you say, okay, this, and when it actually happens, you always send that message. Oh, look what they did. Wow, like this.
Who would have
That's
thought?
who would have thought? Like, oh. Yeah, but that's how I think you need to look at the market. That's how you need to think. Like you write
Yeah.
these things down for yourself, and you think, oh yeah, I know it's gonna do this, and you write it down, and then it does it. Then oh yeah,
Oh, well,
nice.
crazy. Who would have thought? Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to think about that and looking at the market like that is actually crazy because at that moment you're literally predicting the market. Like you've been predicting the market for weeks now, and
Yeah.
it's as you said, we're not trying to predict stuff, but
But
you're doing it. So it's what the fuck's going on? That's crazy. Whoa. And but that's yeah, I don't know. I think that's how I
that,
start to look at it as well. And it's very dangerous because then you need to control yourself. Because I noticed as well, that's short on EU after Trump. Like when I heard you were in it as well, I was like, yeah, all right. That's just one of those moments where you click something and it's yeah, I know what it's gonna do.
yeah.
And it might be stupid to click it, but it's
No, but
who
I
cares? I
think
know.
that's why I envy the fact that you are, let's say, so in tune with your own emotions. Because out of everyone in the group and out of everyone in AO, I think you've been the one, I think you have been the one that has the most experience with my mannerisms and let's say the way that I've been dissecting the markets in numerous different languages. And you've been like exposed to Odyssey, eBay, and all that good stuff. You're like, okay, fuck, dude, how the fuck is this guy going to end up talking to me? Now focusing on Exodus. But you've also just had so much charts time, right? In that sense, you've been exposed to the charts. You've been watching paint dry with me years on end, pretty much, that
Yeah.
you've got this gut feeling, and your gut feeling is necessarily you've just seen the same shit happen, and you've done back tests, you've seen it live, just the candle move, and you've seen that same jitter, that same pattern recognition, whatnot, occur to feel that little fire, feel that little, oh, I know what you're about to do. You're about to drop. But now we just
Yeah.
got to get to a point that you've got the data to back that up. And that's why we talked about it with Bram as well, that once you get to that, let's say 40, 50% strike rate, that you can flip that kind of feeling from, okay, hey, I can trust this gut feeling. And once you get to the level where I'm at in 60, 70% strike rate, you can really be like, okay, hey, when I click, 7 out of 10 times it's going to be right, and that's where you're going to be at this godly level of just rinsing shit left, right, center. But like you're
Okay.
right there. That's what I know because you've got all the right resources in terms of characteristic exposure and, let's say, experience that you've built up in the past 2-3 years with me as well, that now it's just a matter of honing in your mental aspect, which you're doing so beautifully the last couple of times, and just making sure that you understand your own edge, your own style of trading, and get the data to back that up, because from there it's going to be that's going to be pretty wild. I think 2025 is going to be gross for you and for me. Yeah, I'm excited, my man. We've got
Excited
10
as
more
well.
minutes. Is there anything that you just want to drop by to the people that are starting their own journey? What's one thing, one advice from what you've done in the past 2-3 years? What's one name it advice you'd give to other people that are listening, that are viewing this?
I think the best advice, even if people are doing something else than trading, is be completely honest to yourself and try to find why the fuck you are the way you are and why you make the mistakes you make, and be honest about that. Because I think what really helped me as a person is find out why, like, I have the flaws that I do have. Where do they come from? Let's say I make a mistake. Why do I do that? Let's say I share something. Why do I share it? Or just like all those things. I always try to look at things from a way like, okay, why did someone do that? Or why did I do that? Why, even when it's like a good thing, just dissect literally everything in yourself. And okay, so you know yourself. And once
Yeah,
you know yourself, you can literally build your whole foundation and like work on those things. Because if you don't even know why you are doing certain things, how will you ever fix that? It's not possible.
yeah, I
So I think,
know.
yeah, that's the biggest thing, because even when I didn't do a lot of trading or a lot of watching the course or whatever, I always did my notes because that's what like kept me going. So I think that would also be a very good tip, is start doing like daily tasks, write them down. What do I need to do? And start making daily recaps. And it sounds very stupid, but it just keeps your routine like intact, and it keeps your mind going and thinking a little bit. Because I told one of my friends as well, he's not really dropshipping, he just has a business. I told him, yeah, just write down how your day went and what you thought about or what you appreciated. And it's not, maybe you don't get anything out of it, but there might be one day where you rethink what you were thinking, and then you can maybe get a little something out of it. And that's why you do it, because even if it doesn't work for 200 days, and you get nothing out of it, then maybe the next day you do get something out of it, and that's what you do it for, you know?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, beautiful. Active feedback, relaying with yourself, looking very much inwards as to why you grind the gears the way that you grind them. So, yeah, Vano, I'd say thank you for your time. What's one main goal 2025 that you're going to blast through for everyone, just so we can note it here and then look back at it and be like, ah, yeah, you smashed that.
Um,
No pressure.
um,
How high are we putting the bar?
I think it's gonna be pretty crazy, but no, I will be happy if I would still have funded accounts by like next year, June,
Yeah,
then I would be happy. Like it doesn't matter, even if it's 50K or 100K, it doesn't matter like how much,
yeah,
but just funded accounts, and that I'm still like making money with funded accounts then.
yeah, beautiful. Sounds like a
Yeah,
good,
because that's what I said. I just want to see if I'm still consistent, because after a month you don't know if you're consistent.
no,
Like you
that's
need
true.
for a couple months see, and then
Sick. Dude, I'm gassed. All right. Yo, thank you for the viewers. If you have any questions, you can always hit up my line. Let me know any questions that you guys want me to cover in these series, potentially for the next students that I'm going to be putting on this series. Anything you'd like to know. And who knows, maybe in a couple of months, we'll have a part 2 with Vano after he's achieved his goals. And we'll look back upon it one more time together. But for the rest, I want to thank you for your time, for taking the evening and going over your trip down memory lane with me and with us. And yeah, I'll most likely see you on the charts very soon.